This thing is so cool. I cannot wait to freaking film this video. Holy shit. What's going on, guys? Chaseontwowheels here at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, and in front of us, my friends, we have the 2023 CFMOTO Papio. This is a very special edition. They made two of them, one for CFMOTO to take to MotoGP, and as you can see, one is for me. We have named this now not the Papio GP, but the G Papio. We will refer to this as G Papio today because it's one of a kind. But yeah, guys, we're going to get all into this thing today. I cannot wait for this first drive, but to start things off, let's see what it looks like and see what it sounds like. Alright guys, that's what it looks like, which is awesome, and that's what it sounds like. Now, before we get going, this video is not sponsored, but it is supported by the WBR Garage website. That's our website where we build motorcycles and give them away after we turn them into dream bikes. And right now, we're building a 2018 Yamaha R6 into an R6M. It is going to be absolutely sick, so if you guys want to get entries to win that motorcycle, all you gotta do is go to WBRgarage.com. You can either get a monthly membership or buy some merch. Everything there, the website will automatically give you your points to win. Super simple, and that bike is going to be absolutely sick. So go check it out, WBRgarage.com. There's going to be a top link in the description. Go check it out. Thank you for checking out the website. I appreciate it. It supports the channel a lot. Now, let's get going. Actually, speaking of support of the channel, shout out to Quadlock, the absolute only phone mount I would ever put on a motorcycle. I cannot believe I rode for as long as I did without a quad lock. We got a link for them in the description too. Check them out. Alright guys, it is time to ride the Papio. Oh my goodness, I could not be more excited. Let's go! Alright guys, I am 5'10", and I got a 32-inch inseam. As you can see, I have super bent legs on the Papio. This thing is so tiny, it would be absolutely perfect for literally any level rider, any height rider. It's a good time. All right, let's get this video going. Oh, man. If you guys are fans of the channel and fans of motorcycles, which I imagine you are if you're watching this video, we have a Discord page full of motorcycle riders just like yourself. I would highly recommend checking it out. You can find the link in the description. It's full of motorcyclists, people that like motorcycles just like you. G Papio, let's go! Yay! I love this. I love mini bikes. They are adorable. They are fun. Nobody, unless you ride a mini bike, you don't understand how awesome these bikes are. My goal in this video is to help you guys understand that today. So guys, let's start it off. The first ride of the Papio GP edition. That is not an official edition. CFMOTO only makes a Papio. They were just really cool about this one. All right, so the Papio 125cc mini bike. We're looking at 9-ish horsepower and 6-ish foot-pounds of torque. You are not talking about a lot of power, but you are talking about a handful of a good time. So let's get into it. All right, guys, let's talk about body position real quick. When a lot of people sit on this motorcycle, you're gonna feel like you're sitting up higher than you would kind of expect. Body position wise, my back is kind of upright, slightly leaned forward. My arms are just draped down here by the handlebars, and my legs are in kind of a neutral position. I would say it's a seated like chair position, but my legs feel like they're a little farther back than that. Overall, super comfortable. I do wish the seat would be a little softer. I find myself, one, to wheelie, but I find myself sitting towards the back, which is almost the passenger seat. I find myself kind of naturally sitting there while I'm riding this motorcycle. I don't really know why. I could sit up here and my legs kind of fit into the bike a lot better, but I don't know. I like kind of being far away from that. So from this perspective, I am actually sitting on the passenger seat area, and that car is not going. Also, I have found that this bike is far easier to wheelie when you're sitting on the passenger seat. Shocker. Alright guys, let's talk about modes, which is a kind of funny thing to even think about on a 125cc mini bike. No modes, you have a throttle and that is all. There's not a ton of power on a mini bike, so there's not a real big need for modes. One of the cool things that this bike does have is, you see down there, the 5th gear. Check this out. 6 gears! A mini bike with 6 gears. I absolutely love it. This thing is such a freaking hoot. I have had such a good time riding it around ever since CFMOTO, ever since we went and picked it up the other day. So guys, another thing about sitting back on the bike. So if I'm sitting on the back of the bike, I can move the steering wheel, or the handlebars, a lot more before I would like hit my leg. Because if I sit up here, you guys notice it hits my leg a lot easier. So I feel like I actually get more handlebar adjustment when I'm sitting farther back on the bike. And that's also just naturally how I kind of fit on this bike. If I was sitting way up here, my leg would be farther back. So just things to note. All right, so guys, let's talk about balance on the Papio. If you guys have never ridden a mini bike, talking like a Z125, a Grom, or the Papio here, if you've never ridden one, it is a very unique ride, especially when you're going slower speeds. You have very small tires and a very small wheelbase on these bikes, so they fly over. Like, it takes literally like a light fart and the thing will fly into the other lane. That is very normal for these style motorcycles. It's one of the fun of these bikes is they weigh just nothing and you can just whip them around. It is so fun to just kind of like wiggle through traffic on these things, as long as you're sitting back on the bike. But yeah, crazy maneuverability at low speeds. They work really well for that. Now, continuing that conversation on maneuverability, one of the kind of downfalls of these bikes being the proportion that they are is they're very nimble, but they're also like very nimble in a negative way. Like, they move around a lot. So if this is your first motorcycle, which would be a pretty interesting first motorcycle, you are gonna have to kind of like dial your brain in to know that like being able to move around like this on a bike is very abnormal. That's not normal for a regular sized motorcycle. It does kind of lend towards the very, very playful nature of this bike. So it's stuff to keep in mind. It's not a problem. I don't find it a problem. But if you're new to riding and you don't have that kind of balance figured out for motorcycles yet, it could be a little challenging because you can just wiggle it all about and you don't have a ton of like concrete stability. So it'll test your balance, but it's a very light motorcycle, so it'll be good to test your balance. If you got to catch it before it falls over, that's not a problem. I'll tell you, one of the problems of these bikes is because of how small they are, it makes me want to just take it literally everywhere. And I know from experience that people just don't care. They see you on a little bike like this and they just think it's funny more than anything. I guarantee you, if a cop was in front of me, I could just take the Papio like through all of this and that cop would not say a single word to me. Whereas if I was on like a bigger ADV bike and I started riding on sidewalks and stuff, cop probably gonna say something. Now, I'm not condoning you go do that. I'm just saying your chances of getting in trouble are slightly less. Papio is ready for launch. Mode push, mode push. Taking it to red line, absolutely no other way to ride a mini bike. Let's go. All right. So guys, let's answer a question I'm sure a lot of you guys have. Does the Papio have enough speed to enjoy riding it on the city streets? I think it absolutely does. Now, one of the modifications for our first ride today, we are not going to be going to the highway. I can confirm the top speed we have got the Papio up to currently is 69 miles an hour. Nice. But that is not fast enough for me to feel comfortable on the highway. I would not recommend taking these on the highway, maybe unless you're lighter and you can get it up to like 75 or something. So we're going to have a slightly altered route. As far as city streets, I think it has ample power. I have not gotten into a situation thus far riding this bike around where I was like, oh man, I need more power to feel safe. Has not happened. I have been probably riding too fast for city streets and have not had a problem with it at all. Look at this, I can pass this Audi. Look at you, boy, killing the game. I love that this thing has 6 gears. It lets you have so much fun shifting. And guys, that's the highway where we typically turn, and that also means that we will not be able to do a 40 to 80 on this motorcycle, clearly, since the top speed I've gotten it is 69 miles an hour. So you guys are gonna have to excuse our lack of 40 to 80 on this video, but don't worry, we will have just as much fun. I believe I turn at the next road. Maybe. I'm having to remember this route from memory, so we'll see how that goes. Doing a little urban exploring on the little Papio. This is definitely where I turn. All right, cool. We'll try to discuss the bike at higher speeds on the road we're about to get on, since that's typically what we talk about on the first rides on the highways. I have noticed that coming to a stop on the Papio, I have been able to balance this bike really well. I don't know if that's the bike being so tiny so my weight can actually have a bigger effect on it or what, but getting the bike going slowly has been very fun. And I think I'm going to end up saying that a lot. This bike is fun and just incentivizes you as the rider to have a good time riding it, especially in this livery. Like, how are you not going to have a good time? So when you get to higher speeds on the Papio, you're going to notice you still have just as much of that flickability, which can get you in a little bit tight of a situation. You got to be careful. If you don't know what you're doing and you do get one of these little mini bikes up to speed, just be very cautious with your inputs on the throttle and the controls. Don't want you guys to get into any trouble, but if you know what you're doing, one of the most fun about these motorcycles is you ride this thing everywhere you go at full stop, just full pin, and there's no problem with that. The bike is totally happy with it. Also, something to note, no ABS. So you can squeal the rear wheel by locking up the brakes. Oh God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble with this bike. I'm truly worried about it for myself. Look at that, power off the line. I'm really surprised at how this Papio has no problem whatsoever getting up to speed. I'm honestly kind of surprised, and granted, I'm pushing it all the way to redline every time, but the bike is super compliant. I don't know if I just didn't expect that or what out of the little bike, but I've been really impressed by it, actually. I'm pretty sure I should have turned. I don't know. We'll keep a lookout. Yeah, I was supposed to hit a roundabout, and I didn't. All right, we're going to go this way. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh, we really messed up. Oh, we messed up so hard. Oh no, this, my friends, is the end of the first ride route. Alright, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to just send it. We're going to have to send it this way. I don't know any other way to do it, boys. I'll have to talk about everything between now. Oh, we can't. We can't. Hold on. Please, nobody watch what's about to happen. We're makeshifting it, baby! We're makeshifting it! Oh, no! Oh, God. All right, I can't talk until I get all the way back. Damn it. I knew that back route was too confusing. I shouldn't have done it. Freaking knew it. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're doing the first ride backwards. All right, I'm going to stop talking until I get back to the other spot. Dang it. And alrighty, guys, we are about to be back on the first ride route. Nothing happened, okay? Anytime you see anybody in the comments say something, tell them shh. Be like, it's a figment of your imagination. Use the force, boys. All right, now that we're back on the route, let's do the Cardo spot before I continue talking about the Papio. Thanks to our buddies over at Cardo.
My favorite thing about your Papio, outside of the name, is probably the super awesome custom paint job that CFMOTO put on there for us. It is super rad. I'm a huge fan of your Papio.
You know me, I love me some 80s, late 80s, early 90s. This thing is an actual route. And
I thought you just said 80s, ladies, and 90s.
80s, ladies, and 90s.
All right.
All right, guys in the camera car, thank you so much about your opinions. Also, thank you so much, Cardo. If you guys want the best Bluetooth in the game, we got a discount code for you in the description. 10% off anything at Cardo. You are freaking welcome. Can I make it? He's coming in hot. He's trail braking. He's making it. So, guys, let's talk about the things we typically talk about back there. First off is the power delivery on the bike. It is not gonna bite you really hard. It is a steady amount of power. It's a little bit amount of power, but it's a steady amount. And let me tell you, it's absolutely plenty to have the literal best time on a motorcycle of this size. As far as the transmission goes, our 6-speed transmission that we have here, I've had no problems. It's done a good job getting into gears. You know, for such a small, cost-effective motorcycle, I would have worried about stuff like that. It has felt really good. I get a good click when I click up into the gears. That's another thing that makes these bikes so much fun, is you can literally just be riding around town and, bro, you're like first, second, third, fourth, third, and you're just like going all the way through the gearbox. It is so much fun. It makes for such a more engaging motorcycling experience. Even if you're an experienced rider, you can totally have one of these and literally have the best time. And if you have friends and you all have them, get the hell out of here. The fun level is exponentially greater when you ride these with friends. As far as the brakes are okay, as you would expect them to be. I've had no problems. I've had a couple late braking situations here riding around acting a fool, and I've had no problem coming to a stop adequately, so I've got no problem with the brakes, and clutch is feeling good as well. With that, let's move on to the cluster up here. Surprisingly, for a bike that costs just under $3,000 brand new, the buttons are fine. You get a click when you click everything. The levers are blacked out. I will say the clutch lever wiggles a little bit. I think if I was going to own one of these, but I do. With this, I'm probably going to get an aftermarket clutch lever. Just because I like aftermarket levers, and if I'm gonna have a motorcycle that I own, I do want aftermarket levers. Overall, I like the width of the handlebar. I feel like I got good control over the bike. Scooting up, we can look at the dash. With the dash info we got is tack on it. We got a gas gauge, which is awesome. We've got a gear indicator, which is awesome. We got time, we've got trip. We've got about everything you really need, and it's in a very tight, compact form. I have no problems with the dash. I don't think I need anything more on there. One of the cool things about having the handlebar mount with quad lock is you can put the handlebar mount of the quad lock to where your phone sits in a position to where it does not obstruct the dash at all. Really love that. So from like right here, I can see my phone and my dash with no problem. I absolutely love that. But yeah, surprisingly, everything works. And the levers even have the breakaway. So if you wreck the bike, the lever will break before, or the end of the lever will break off before the actual lever breaks. Which, if you guys ride this like most mini bike guys, listen, these little bikes, it's probably going to go down at some point. As much as I love Papio, I'm probably going to lay it down at some point doing something stupid. So when I do, it's awesome to know, even if I don't have the levers upgraded by then, they will have an upgrade. Alright guys, we're going to pull off up here and do a walk around of the Papio series Papio. And we're going to take a look at it because I absolutely love it. I literally could not love it more than I do. And I literally told CFMOTO that. I said that word for word. And we get a clear parking lot. Papio, this is for you, buddy. This is for you. Hashtag Papio. Let's freaking go. Hold on. Let's get the name Papio so popular that CFMOTO has to put out this livery and call it Papio. Hashtag Papio in the comments, my fam. You guys know what to do. I don't have to tell you or hold your hand. All right, Papio, it's your time, baby. Let's do this walk around. You have the whole parking lot to yourself, bud. My friends, may I introduce Papio. So, unfortunately, guys, this livery is not currently available for the Papio. It comes in some fun colorways. You guys can check them out online. We'll have a link to CFMOTO's website down below. You guys can check out what bikes they have. Tail, super angularly. Love that. Tiny little exhaust. You guys let me know what kind of exhaust I should get on it. Part of me wants to be really pretentious and get like an SC Project or something, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We've got the tiny painted wheels with the little CFMOTO tag over it. I love this kind of teal and pink. And by the way, guys, this is not a wrap. They painted this. This is like real deals. Oh my God, this is how new this bike is, guys. Ah, yes. All right, we're not going to litter. We're holding that on for us. All right, guys, so there's the front of the Papio. Let me get the head looking towards us. A really cool angle and shape on the headlight. I absolutely love that. Part of me, like, sometimes I see this area, and I want there to be a little mini fairing here, but then sometimes I don't. I can't really decide where I want to go with that. But overall, dude, for mini bikes, I absolutely love the absolute shit out of this thing. I cannot stand how much I love it. That's the walk around. I'll give you guys a little back view of it. It's so awesome. I love it so much. Okay, so also quick note, tiny chain drive, just as a note. All right, guys, so that is the walk around of Papio. I'm going to grab my phone off my quad lock, and I'm going to do some vertical videos. If you guys aren't following us, go over to Instagram at C2Pics and TikTok at Chaseontwowheels. I'm going to grab some clips real quick. Be right back. All right, guys, that's it for verticals. If you guys want to check out those vidges, you know where to go. All right, Papio. Now, before I tell people why they should buy one, we have to do a steering stem lock test. It's a formality, don't worry. And yes, I'm talking to Papio, not you guys. So sorry. All right, Papio. Also, look how small the keys are. Look how thin that is. Kind of funny. All right, Papio. Every eyes are on you, bud. Steering stem lock test. I'm still in the lane. I did a turnaround inside the same damn lane. Oh my God. All right, so phenomenal showing for Papio. Also, hold on, just a little cheeky wheelie. Oh, guys, these bikes are so fun to practice wheeling on. Just sit back on it, hold the clutch in, pull the gas, and then pop the bike up a little bit. I'm gonna work on them, and I'm hoping I can get really good at it, but we'll have to see. All right, guys, the big question is: Papio a purchase or pass? Let's find out. So, guys, I'm not delusional in thinking that Papio is for everybody. Everybody has different. Are we gonna be able to make this red light? Come on, Papio! Woo! All right. I am not delusional in thinking that a mini bike is for everyone. I definitely don't think it is. But I think it has two really cool categories that make it incredibly fun. One is if it's your only bike. Now, for you to have this as your only bike, you're definitely looking at something like your first motorcycle, or you live like in town and you really don't see yourself riding outside of town. Having this, if you lived in a city, would be hilariously fun, like almost illegal fun. Or if you're just getting started and you don't want anything that's going to be too much power and you've like never ridden before, this could totally be a good option to learn on. I would love to teach my wife to ride a motorcycle on this, and if you guys want to see that video, let me know. I taught her like years and years ago on my WR250, but I think having her test or like learn to ride on the Papio, one, would be freaking adorable to see her riding this around. But it would also be really good to show you guys how good these are to learn on. Because of the low seat height, the small weight, this thing only weighs 250 something pounds, dude. Super light. Now, second group of people that I see really loving this motorcycle is second bike slash bike that you and all your buddies have category. Now, there is a little secret to motorcycling that a lot of people don't realize. Mini-motos ridden in a pack, like a group, is like a top level fun that you can have on a motorcycle. So the peak fun that you can get with a mini-moto is entirely dependent on if you can get a group of guys to ride and get them with you. So if you and all your buddies have mini-motos and you guys go, like here in Atlanta, we have mini bike Mondays. I've gone on one before with my buddy Rodney Sargent. He's a local stunt guy here in Atlanta, that he has a mini bike that he stunts on, and he organizes mini Mondays. They are the most adorable thing. They all mob together around, and it is some of the most fun I have ever seen on a motorcycle. So you get one of these, you and your buddies all get them together. I promise you, you will have a good time. Those are the two people that I would really see enjoy this motorcycle, or the two groups of people that I could really see enjoying this motorcycle. Now, am I passing or purchasing? I gotta tell you guys, I have wanted a mini bike since I went and filmed that video of Rodney Sargent doing his mini Mondays. I'll put a description link to that video. It's an old video, I'll have to find it, but it is such a good time. And it really shows you guys how much fun you can have on one of these bikes. Ever since I filmed that video with him, I have wanted one of these. I have wanted a mini bike, and now I get the opportunity, so I'm going to be living all of my mini bike dreams on this thing, and I could not be more excited. So far, I have loved every second on this bike, and I could not recommend you guys get one anymore. Keep in mind, I have been riding for 12 or 13 years. I am an experienced rider. I've ridden just about everything, and I love this bike. Just something to take into consideration. So guys, that's basically gonna be it for the first ride on the CFMOTO Papio. Before we get out of here, I gotta give the biggest shout out to CFMOTO for not only loaning us this motorcycle, but literally giving it to us, and not just giving it to us, custom making it for me. I have never been so appreciative of something a brand has done. It is hilarious, it is personalized, and I absolutely love it. So shout out to CFMOTO. Thank you guys so much for the bike. We will make full use of it. And if you guys got to this point in the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more motorcycle content. I'll put this video up on the screen now that you guys are really going to enjoy if you're watching and like this video and this bike. But yeah, guys, y'all ride safe. Make sure to put OC in your comment if you got this far, because you're in the outro crew. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.